You are watching another new series on Tactical Enlightenment called Illuminated Chaos, in which we sample and explore some of the amazing mods that are out there for Bannerlord. Hopefully these chaotic battles inspire in you a desire to see Bannerlord in a different light and continue the fight in your own world. Alright, well, we are rolling into part 2 of this, and it is interesting. A lot of the Valandian force is still there. So even though theoretically, like, if they fled, a lot of times they're captured. With this mod, it looks like not. In fact, they're attacking again, even though they fled. So it's interesting, and holy fuck, there's a lot now. And of course, we lost troops. We did take some prisoners, so we've got a few more troops than I anticipated. But we're outnumbered now, almost 6-1. So this is going to be interesting. And again, there may be reinforcements in this battle to boot. We'll get these lords stuck in our 8th Corps again and reassess here. This is interesting. So the bridges are far away, and there's actually 2 bridges between us and the enemy. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I'd like to defend one of these bridges, of course. But that's one of the dynamic parts of this battlefield. This battlefield for sure would be one of the most interesting battlefields to play another player. You know, 500 on 500 and have a jousting tactical battle. I think it would be really fascinating. Of course, you'd have to establish like rules. You know, like you'd have to have like 3 battles, and one of the battles you'd get to defend. The next battle you'd be forced to attack, and maybe the third one you would both have a timer or something like that. Because if you were just able to defend, of course, a bridge situation, any good tactician would totally dominate the attacker every time. Alright, so here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to jam up this top bridge and then assess to see if this southern bridge here, if this lower bridge can also be jammed up and create into a kill zone. The enemy's got forces quickly running at that upper bridge. It also... Holy fuck. Ha! Enemy troops have been spotted nearby. Okay, so some of these troops are not joining our foe here. It's interesting. Even more interesting is the enemy is split up here, which is very difficult for us to defend. They are crossing that southern bridge. I'm going to call that the southern bridge, even though there's not really a north-south orientation. That one that's ahead of me there, that's going to be the south bridge. They are pouring across that, and I can't get down there in time to jam it up. So we're going to take a defensive position here, try to jam up this upper bridge. I've got the 3rd Cav shoved in there. Very similar to what we did in the first battle, only we don't even have a small rock outcropping to sort of funnel the enemy. The enemy's going to be able to pour at us over this ridge, over in this valley. So this is going to potentially be very difficult. You can see they've got infantry coming up as well. They still have high-level troops, too. I see banner knights. I see high-level troops dying. Vanguard, Valandian Vanguard. We got some horses flying around here. Get my 8th Corps and the skirmishers off to the enemy's flank here. We might be able to shoot them and do some serious damage as they approach. Spreading out my archers a bit here, and we're basically going to try concentrated attacks at the enemy as they come up. I've got a cav line there just to stop the momentum of their cav from charging us. And we're going to try to basically hold this ridge. All at the same time, I've got to keep an eye behind me to make sure that the bridge is not being overran. So it's chaos. Right, we got some thorough chaos going here. But we're charging. They got about 50 troops here. We're going to try to immolate this. I'm bringing my cav back to provide concentrated assaults on them here. And we're going to try to wipe out this force quickly. They got more reinforcements pouring over the ridge. They got Britannian Fiend Champs. Catch, motherfucker. There's fucking 1,000 javelins on the ground already. I'm going to continue to use my 2nd Cav. My 3rd Cav is in the bridge. My 2nd Cav is going to be my defensive wall here towards the south bridge. Again, I'm going to call that bridge behind me. That's going to be the south bridge just for orientation. A lot of times night battles is difficult to see, but we've got a nice moonlight. Oh shit. Ran right in front of the machine gun there, dude. Sometimes you get killed. So these guys, they look like they're trying to reform, but they're reforming right into the teeth of our archers. Not a good decision. They're going to get cut to pieces. They've got infantry across the bridge. Pick up some of these javelins. They've got 160 infantry that are sort of jammed up behind us, and our archers are going to be able to go to work on those guys. Our archers here basically have double duty. They can shoot those guys across the bridge, and then, of course, the guys coming from behind me here. I got some heavy cav here that's sneaking through, but those guys have no chance to survive right there. Still have, it looks like, a good tranche of Battanian Fiend champs. Probably have 50 or 60 alive. Of course, the first battle, we whipped the enemy so bad, we still have a lot of our elite troops. What did we suffer? 140, something like that, casualties? Not very many casualties. So the enemy's totally bound up on that bridge down there. The question is how many enemy forces are going to pour up here behind us? We're much more vulnerable towards this southern bridge, of course, because we can't jam it up. The enemy's starting to breach there, too. I'm kind of watching for their reinforcements here. I can see them coming, too. Motherfuckers. Very difficult to fight on multiple fronts. Especially as a commander, right? You start to exceed. I've talked about that phenomenon before, the span of control. Studies were done in the early 1900s that basically, I'll try to enumerate this while I make these commands to units. Sometimes my narration goes to shit. But studies were basically done in the 1900s that determined that the average human mind can only take control and command actively, intelligently, about 4 or 5 things at the same time. In other words, if you're a general and you have 12 units you're trying to command, you're going to do a shit job. You're just not going to be able to consistently, like these guys. This second cav, I wasn't paying close enough attention. You're not going to be able to consistently command all those units intelligently. And so they came up with what's called the span of control, and they essentially recommend that the average person don't command, is not organizing or managing more than 4 or 5 critical departments. It's in the span of control, I believe it's 3 to 7 is sort of the optimal range. So most people can't really intelligently manage more than 7 units at the same time, right? Once you get above that, you start to lose control, and you can think of it like juggling. It's very easy to juggle 3 balls. I can do it very easily. I can even do it when I'm drunk. But it's very, very difficult to juggle 5, 6 balls, and the world record is like 10 or 11 or something like that. It becomes incredibly difficult when you add more balls, and if you add more armies here, it becomes even more difficult to command them accurately. So I've told that story enough that I was able to do that and still pull off this tactical maneuver. We're repositioning here in a position where we can attack both different lines that the enemy's sending against us here. We're strengthening our left here. We've got a cav line there, basically to distract, slow down their forces, and we're going to try to roll the enemy up from their right flank, our left flank. We're going to pour in here with our elite units, our 8th Corps. I'm charging with infantry and the skirmishers, and we're going to try to obliterate this archer line. These fucks were insolent enough to think they could just fucking shoot us in the face. We're going to teach them a lesson here. I've got archers back there that are just killing everything that's still moving. The enemy has very tough infantry here. Legionnaire, sergeant, fucking legionnaire. This is going to be a grueling battle. We probably can't win. We're outnumbered 6 to 1. But you never know. We got bridges. We got some tactical tools. You can sometimes surprise yourself. Sometimes when a horse runs into me, I take it as a sign from above that I should get on that horse. I kind of fight equally well on both. I tend to command better on horse, and I tend to kill and stay healthier on foot. I think we got reinforcements. Okay, we got reinforcements coming in here. That's timely. And beautifully, the reinforcements are close to us. They're not quite as close as I want, but they're going to be able to get into the fight very quickly. We've got a nice strong line of archers here that are still holding the line. The screen is still mostly green. It's Battanian Fiend Champ, Battanian Fiend Champ, Battanian Fiend Champ. Right, we've got probably 50 or 60 Battanian Fiends in our army, maybe more. And obviously these machine gun archers, especially, it looks like the enemy's reforming. They are. This is a fucking golden opportunity. There's a bridge they're reforming to. Let's get there quickly. If we can get our units up here on this bridge quickly, not only can we plug them up, but look at the elevation advantage here. We can shoot down this hill into the bridge. If I can jam this bridge up, rush this thing, get infantry and cavalry here as quick as I can, and then start unloading on them before they can really spread out, it'll be a fucking fish in a barrel shooting gallery. So sending in cavalry to block it up, they're sort of the initial wave. I can get to the bridge. They're all there, jamming it up now. I've got infantry coming from behind, but they're going to take longer. And then I can stretch archers out in big, long lines here with elevation range, elevational advantages. This smells like a massacre right here. Look at the enemies all bottled up. Their cav is all fucking confused. They do have archers, but we have better archers and we have elevation. These are fresh archers, too. A lot of these guys are going to be unhurt and have full fucking quivers of arrows. I've got to keep the bridge jammed, of course, but I have 2 infantry divisions, a cav division. I think we can do this. Here they come. Here's our infantry division. There's nothing behind us. For once in this battle, we have our forces concentrated. And we've got a kill box set up here, or at least a kill zone. A kill box, we would have forces behind him. I don't have enough forces to wrap around. But I think this is going to be... they got horse... If they get guys across, then it's going to be problematic. But if they don't, we are going to fucking massacre them. Fucking enemy lord. Taste my axe, wench. Oh shit, I'm getting bound up here as well. Be funny if I talk shit and then I get speared in the back and killed. All right, I got out of there. Our archers are in a beautiful position. Look at the archer death raining down. Now, they do have archers across there shooting at us. You know what? Not all those are archers. I just killed a billman. That's an infantry guy. So the enemy's in a very bad spot here. Actually, I can see polearm troops down there. Let's get our archers spread out even higher up here on this hill. They do. They've got... Their troops are all bundled up. Now, here's the thing. They're fucked. If they retreat, we will simply charge and overrun them. The enemy literally is fucked here. They've got themselves into a pickle. They're starting to pull back, but they're getting shot in the back. I mean, those guys are getting absolutely hammered on the retreat. And here's the thing. If they retreat, we're going to charge. We're going to barrel right in their back. Anybody that's running, our guys are going to hammer. And any of the archers, of course, that are pulling back are taking 6 arrows in the back. I can't get across. Man, I'd love to get across, drag some cav in, and start sweeping up their archers. Because if we can get a cav division across there and start interrupting their archers, it is curtains. I mean, the enemy has more waves, and I haven't actually seen if reinforcements are entering this battle. The power bar still says the enemy's hugely favored to win this battle. I can't get across. It's going to take too long. We may jump across this motherfucker. Try to leap across. Try to get a breach and drive some of this cavalry into the enemy ranks. Oh, shit. Fucking ran to my own guys. All right, we're across. Let's get archers set up here. We're pounding them at the front ranks. We can also get a line of infantry set up right in front of the enemies. Now, this is hazardous. They got a line of nasty infantry mixed with their archers. It's like a pike and shot strategy. I got to be careful here. I could take major damage from one of these pikemen. All right, yeah, get speared in the side. We've pushed them off the ridge. This is our time to advance. Fucking, they got cavalry charging us too, though. It's never easy. All right, I'm going to drag a cav unit. We're going to continue to try to interrupt these archers here. They've got a big, long line of archers right at the front here. I don't want these guys shooting our troops. I want them running around. I want them panicked because of our charging cavalry. The rest of our troops should be across the bridge, almost all across the bridge. Here's what we can start setting up. We're charging with cav and a horse archer division. We can screen with some horse archers, basically set them up right in front of the enemy, and I want to get my archers spread out here, uphill here, where we can shoot sort of downhill into the enemy ranks. The screen is all green. I mean, we are outnumbered, and it's a fucking massacre. My health is getting to a precarious state. I've got archers on the enemy right flank down there. Those guys are shooting. I can see them lighting them up. Now let's get archers on the enemy left flank. If we can get them in this little bowl here, these guys are also going to be able to get enfilade attacks on the enemy. Meanwhile, the enemy is being stacked up by our infantry. There's about 70 or 80 infantry in our heavy infantry division charging the enemy in shield wall. And better yet, because the enemy's archers are being knocked around by our cav, they can't shoot. Here they come. 68 infantry, kill them all. We lead here with our cav. It's basically the shield and shock tactic. Our cav is just going to push the way. It's not very many guys, but the only reason we're doing that is to clear space for these archers. I saw you coming, motherfucker. You too, bitch. All right, the enemy's pulling up firm now. I think they just got a bunch of reinforcements. I got to fucking not get shot in the face. Guys aren't spreading out in front of me, motherfuckers. The only thing that's going to be spread with you guys are your fucking dismembered body parts. These guys are out of arrows. Time to send them into battle. They're sent in like shock troops. Charge. Need a horse? Let's see what's going on here. It's chaos is what it is. There's fucking troops running around everywhere. And we're charging a massive force. The enemy just got reinforcements. I mean, this is going to be a kamikaze charge. We're not going to survive this. Of course, some of these units might be original from the very first tranche, from the start of the battle, which is amazing to think. I've been able to keep these Battanian fiends and whatnot healthy through all this. Oh shit, a bad time for the G-Force experience thing to pop up. I'm just standing there like a dipshit. At least I wasn't knee-deep in enemies. Yeah, this is not going to work. My reinforcements are way behind us here. And these guys are just, it's like going to be a Pyrrhic charge. All these guys are toast. 4750. There's like 60 guys here charging hundreds of enemies. Shield. In this situation, though, sometimes you are much better off doing what we're doing. Instead of retreating, where we'd be shot in the back, guys would be charged down by cavalry, it's better to just have your units charge, because what they do then is they take guys with them. Right? They're the proverbial, I'm going to take you out with me if I'm going down. I'm about to get out of here. The enemy's starting to charge. They've got heavy infantry barreling up the slope here. Yeah, this is... I'm going to join them here briefly, but this is not going to be tenable. They're just digital pictures, but sometimes I just can't help but support my guys. Like, I gave them these orders to charge, and then sometimes I feel bad. I ride off on a horse after I told them to charge, and I feel like Napoleon in the 1812 campaign, whereas all his fucking troops are freezing to death, starving in Russia, and he just gets on a sled and goes back to Paris. You can learn from these guys. Don't do that shit. At least fight it out for a little bit. All right, now we're out of here. That way, our guys that are dying, the last thing they saw was the Jarl fighting right beside them, right? These little digital pixels. We gotta keep them. I got heavy cav just right on my tail here. We got to keep our troops' morale high, even though obviously the AI doesn't give a fuck if you just reform them. What do I have here? I got a ton of archers. 122 archers. There's some... Oh, no, those are wildlings. We've still got some high-ranked troops. I've started playing around a little bit with with one of the settings. One of your settings for battle. Let's jam that bridge up. Again, they're pouring across. We could create another death zone here. They're trying to attack us as we retreat. But they're not across the bridge yet. If I can get these archers up and jam up this bridge, I'm going to call Cav to me, and I'm actually going to try to do this myself. I've got 30% health, but I'm just going to try to stack up as many horses and unriderless horses and just create a fucking traffic jam here. Be the gatekeeper. Nobody gets across. Because if I can get my cav down here, The archers are starting to shoot. We could create another fucking death zone here. Oh, they're here. Beautiful. Get in there. Charge. The rest of my reinforcements are still coming, but our archers, again, are positioned beautifully there. It's another fucking death zone for the enemy. We just did close that bridge. I think my actions there might have been pivotal. They had a huge amount of forces that were pouring across, and I think if I don't do that, we don't block the bridge. They get 100 cav across, and the next thing you know, it's a fucking tidal wave. That's one of the keys in a bridge battle, is to make sure that the enemy never gets a big flood of troops through the bridge. Right? If they do, you're basically fucked, unless you outnumber the enemy or something. We're outnumbered, I think it was almost 6-1. We have to do everything right here. And right now, so far, so good. Look at the death span. This line is starting to break down, so I'm going to join them. But we've got an infantry line that's charging. We've got some cav bottled up in there, and the arrows are still raining down on the enemy. Screen is all green. It's a fucking massacre. I don't even actually want to kill those horses. You want dead horses stacked up there, because it's just one more thing making the bridge harder for the enemy to cross. Look at these guys. These guys are absolutely raking everything. There's still Battanian Fiend champs. Well, maybe we had 80 or 100 in this battle. I see crossbowmen, though, too. There's some low-ranked archers, so we may be out of reinforcements. This could be it. But, God, they're doing some fucking great work. It's very deja vu. We were just at this bridge doing the same thing to the enemy, and here they are again, just getting mown down. I mean, I haven't seen an allied death in a long time. They're stacked up. They don't even have much archer support. There's finally a death. A crossbow guy killed one of our archers. Between my infantry and cav, I've got almost 70 guys on the bridge. That number is going to get whittled down, and that's when it gets concerning. But right now, I don't have to do a thing here. I can just enjoy. It looks like the sun is coming up. I'm also using that mod, the Time Pass mod, which... It's another great mod. I should have mentioned that earlier, but basically I haven't had time to tell you all about it. I've mentioned it before in other episodes. Yeah, I don't have to do a thing. I've just set up a death factory here. I'll keep an eye on those troops on the bridge. But with this Time Pass mod, time actually passes in battles, right? Unfortunately, in vanilla Bannerlord, the sun sits in the same spot. You can get a sunset that lasts for days. Not very realistic. And of course, it doesn't bring all the dynamism of the light changing and things actually changing on the battlefield. You actually get like mists and fogs with this. Seems like the light changes a lot. You can actually see there's like a hazy sunshine coming up, changing the light. But this is another mod. It's in the video description area. I highly encourage you to check this mod out. It's highly configurable too. You can make it so that the time passes really quickly, or you can make it so that it sort of crawls. You can actually make it realistic to real life, where 1 minute in game is 1 minute of real life light. I think the original setting is like 60, which is way too fast for me. That means every minute an hour passes. I have mine set to like 5 or 10. So in a half-hour battle, something like 4 or 5 hours of real time changes, and I think that's like ideal. You get changes, but not like, just dramatic changes. Anyways, it's customizable. Check it out. I'm kind of itching to join my troops in there. If I could get my savage axe into that mess of troops, a lot of them I can see are cavalry. My quick, devastating short axe absolutely eats. Look at the sunshine. My axe eats cavalry alive. I mean, it's an absolute cavalry destructive agent. So I think we're going to try to charge, leap into there, and try to blow a hole open in this enemy line. If we can get them to flee, even better, because a lot of our archers are running out of ammunition at this stage. We're gonna have to fight hand to hand soon. And I think I'm gonna join my men in battle here. We're probably still gonna lose this battle, but no guts, no fucking glory, right, fellas? In we go. Fuck it. Look at these light cav are just absolutely destroyed by this axe. It breaks shields. It blows up 2 guys at once. It's long enough to hit the guys on the ground still. Dismembered. Dismembered. Of course, that's another mod. That's another one I recommend for battle carnage. It doesn't... The horses don't get dismembered, but all of the units on the field, including yourself and other heroes, can get dismembered. You can have heads fly off and arms fly off. It's pretty rad. In we go here. I'm trying to get deeper into the enemy, because if I can get myself all the way in there, I actually almost want to be surrounded. None of these units represent a major threat to me because I swing so much faster than them. If I can just get... There's a hole here. Now we're talking. Let's kill everything in sight. Kill a few more guys here. We're going to be able to push through to the other side. I mean, I've got no health left. They're starting to set up crossbow. That's a problem. Holy shit, they've got a lot more troops. Yeah, I just looked up the power bar. Even though we've been whipping the enemy, it still says that we're huge underdogs to win. They just have so many fucking troops. Oh no, I'm down to an absolute sliver of life now. Some battles like this I'll play with lower player damage, but I didn't for this one, so it kind of is what it is. You can see the lighting's a little bit foobar. You can see the sun is kind of creating some bizarre shadows. That's because the game engine is not designed to handle this perfectly, so it kind of is what it is. Let's get an infantry line in front of them here. We're going to spread out our archers because I'm hoping to envelop the enemy here. I'm hoping we can get our troops in a long, thin line. We've got higher ranked, higher strength troops. If I can get troops sort of wrapped around them here, get these infantrymen in there. I think if we can get on their flank here, we can just eat them alive. I'm dragging the cav with me physically around the enemy's side here. I actually want them just basically face-to-face with all the enemy here. They're going to get shot in the face. Some of those guys are going to get killed. But that temporary loss is going to be made up for the fact that once our guys get to their line, it's just going to break. Or at least it's going to be lethal. We're having them hold fire. That way all of them charge. They have so many fucking crossbowmen. And this is why, of course, the game says we're favored to lose. It's like 100, let's see, we got 135 troops. Oh, it just got bright all of a sudden. You can see this mod's not perfect either, but I still recommend it. It's pretty cool. 130 against 700. Fuck it. I'm going to join my guys here. Not much I can do about the archers down there. I might be able to assign an infantry unit eventually. Guys are trying to hit me in the face with javelins, motherfuckers. Let's get some cav down there to occupy the enemy. Just took another hit and dropped. A bolt to the face. I think I'm going to let our guys play this out. I don't know if we have more reinforcements coming or if the enemy does. Yeah, there's some right there. We've got a little bit of reinforcements coming. We've got higher level troops at this stage. The enemy's down to like middle tier troops. And we've got momentum. Look at our guys steamrolling downhill. Usually the AI does dipshit things, so this might just turn into a disaster, but I'm gonna watch and sort of wish that I had played with lower player damage, so I was still in the fight. Still, it's a close enough battle. If we could fucking pull this off, that would be awesome. There's 30 guys there, 40 guys there. Those guys are dead. What is this? This 80 88 reinforcements coming up. If those guys could just occupy the enemy for 30 seconds, it'll buy time for the reinforcements to get into position, the infantry to charge. We'll see. Those guys are holding down. You see that guy just mow a guy down. He's got 4 arrows in his shield. Still killing guys. Guys are roaring, charging. What do we got here? They're going to be able to eat these. They've got a ridge here, so the enemy can't really even see. It's like these 30 guys, and appropriately, these guys are pulling back. This guy's fucking dead. Gonna take a fucking javelin or an axe to the face. Smoked. What we got going on the other side here? Oh, the enemy has a huge force. What is that? Maybe that's probably 300 or 400. If our guys can get to this ridge though and start shooting downhill and infantry charging, they're throwing 1,000 axes. I've never been a big fan of axes, but at least they got something to throw. Oh, they're starting to get shot. They got their shields up as they're barreling in. The archers are on the line. Look at this. These guys have a beautiful position. They're shooting downhill. They're not as spread as I would love to see, but that is how it is. I do have the RTS mod. I just didn't activate it for this battle. I wish I had, because I'd be able to actually command these units or take charge of one of them, but it is what it is. It's still an interesting finish here to an epic, chaotic battle. Look at they're boring in on their infantry and archers now. They're hugely outnumbered. But these archers are basically unhindered. They are just annihilating everything. Run! I heard some of the enemies like, we're out of here. There's 500 of us, but run! It's all green death spam. Of course, these are high-level troops, but they're hugely outnumbered. A lot of times when it's high-level troops against low-level troops, if they're hugely outnumbered like this, these guys are fucking toast now. The enemy finally decided, hey, we just charged with our 400 guys. We can kill these guys. Guys getting stabbed by 9 different spots. The archers, though, they got a shot. It's razor tight. For sure, all of my most enjoyable battles have been battles where I made like either a huge comeback or had an epic fight, or were battles where it was like down to the last 20 guys. If you've ever been in those are incredibly enjoyable. Where the enemy has like 15 guys and you have 6 at the very end of a battle. And guys are wounded and out of ammo. Retreat! They've had enough. Unreal. We fucking pulled this off. Unless there's more reinforcements coming from somewhere, we were outnumbered almost. I think it was almost 6-1 here, and they may have gotten reinforcements too. Man, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. This was probably going to break this into 2 parts. This was a long, chaotic battle. It was actually 2 battles, of course. 3,800 we took out with and we have 55 guys left. Anyways, very interesting mod. Let me know what you guys think. Please leave comments, and I will see you guys next time.